Hey, how you doing today? You would agree with me that in any organization, Dynamics 365 customer service is an amazing tool that you can use to get more insight from your customer. Now, as we approach the end of this amazing training that has started from January, you would now know that different organizations have different processes. So for you to actually customize a particular process for an organization, you would need to extend. And Ayatunde Ayola, um, Ayode Geologu have actually, both of them have actually explained all of this to us. Now, if you are extending the Dynamics 365 customer service, you would either need local tools for you to actually extend, or you will need core code. So if you are a programmer, you can program in C Sharp or in JavaScript, then to be so nice for you to actually do this and customize. However, if you do not know how to code, it is amazing because you would still be able to use local tools to be able to customize. And that is what we'll be looking at today. We'll be looking at how to extend Dynamics 365 customer service with the Power Platform, which is so amazing because Power Platform and Dynamics 365 are like brothers and sisters, all right? So the person I'll be taking us for today is somebody that I know so well, amazing, amazing, amazing trainer, uh, um, an amazing solutions architect, and of course, a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional. So join me in welcoming Ayotunde Ayola. Hi, Ayotunde. How are you doing today?
Hi, Omolola. Hi, everyone. It's good to thank you for having me again today.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. All right.
Yes, it's so nice to have you here again, Ayotunde. Are you ready for us?
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So
All
I'll
right.
just go ahead and stay somewhere. If you need me, let me know. All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead with your training.
All right, fantastic. All right. So, welcome everyone once again. It's gonna be a very, uh, you know, quick and very precise training. All right. We're looking at extending the Dynamics customer service module with the Microsoft Power Platform. And I'm sure if you follow the last 4 weeks of the training, you would have seen a lot of things around Microsoft Dynamics, and eventually, even I'm sure a few things will have come up, which I know that my colleague Ayodeji Ologun already did justice to, even exposing the Microsoft Dynamics customer service with some Power Platform tools. Basically, uh, you would see that from from the ideology of things, right? The Microsoft Power Platform itself, because I'm sure we have good knowledge and understanding as to what the Microsoft Dynamics is all about. Now, the Microsoft Power Platform itself it's part of the larger body of the Microsoft business applications, right? The ideology behind all of those tools is to be able to create industry accepted solutions, right? To be able to create use you know software as a solution service, as a service systems like these, to be able to meet niche and things that organization need to be able to meet their goals. So you have customer service helping organizations handle things like customer issues, complaints, and the likes, right? You have things like sales, helping organization, manage sales related activities, lead generation, opportunities, codes, fulfilling orders, and the likes. And then you have marketing, helping people do campaigns, social media management in some point. So the idea is you would see that that system, the software as a service platform itself, which is Dynamics, already gives that possibility of what can be done, right? However, the idea is you would know that apart from the out of the box functionalities, which we've shown us over the time, that can be configured, right? There are cases where you need to take a step further, There are cases where you need to really deep dive into the possibilities of the technology itself, what the technology can really offer. And like Omolola said at the beginning, right? It depends on you in terms of your how do you intend to um, expose that system? How do you intend to extend that system, as it were? So your niche or your use case will determine your approach. So the first thing is you need to understand the possibilities around, the dynamics, which I'm sure we've done justice to in the past few weeks, and then also the possibilities around Power Platform. So when you understand the possibilities, what can this system do? what um what does this system, what do they offer, right? So when you have that emphatic understanding as to what they do, what they offer, that guides in what we then call, extensions, extensibilities, as it were. That's number one. And when we now come down to the Power Platform, we then look at what are the Power Platform, tools that we have. What do they do, and how do they come in play here? How can they be of help here, as the case might be? So in the Power Platform, we have the Power Apps, which is used as some sort of low code application development instance, right? So you want to build um, develop applications and all of that. You leverage on the Power Apps to achieve that purpose, right? Now the question is, if you use Power Apps to build your applications, is there any synchronization? Is there any positive use case that can do to your dynamics? If you We have the Power Automate, right, which is used for writing automations, logics, and the likes, right? If you write automations and all of that, is there any synchronization or anything that could happen between that and then the dynamics? Likewise, reporting with Power BI, right? Likewise, building chatbot with Power Virtual Agent, right? Now, so when you look at all of those tools that we have inside, including the Power Pages, also the portal side of things. So how does all of these elements fit in play with your dynamic system, right? And how does Dynamics leverage the possibility? And that's where the use case comes in. So what I'm going to be doing today is pick each of them, just do a quick run through of how they can then fit into. So in case you want to go ahead and do that, how then can you, fit them, marry them into your dynamic system, and how can they be of help? All right. And then you can pick it up from there and then fly with it. All right. um, in your own personal scenarios. Okay, so those are the things we'll be looking at. We'll look at Power Automate side, we'll look at Power App side, we'll look at Power BI embedded side, as it were. And I'll take your questions after then. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll start from the very first one. Just give me a moment. I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. Mm, okay, good. All right. So I believe everybody should see my screen now. Please let me know if you see my screen. Please, Omlola, you can confirm for me if my screen is
Yes, it is
visible.
visible.
All right,
Mhm.
fantastic. Okay, all right, fantastic. So now, if you look at my screen, you can see that I'm inside the Dynamics Customer Service Hub, right? Now, one of the very first thing that connects Dynamics and Power Platform together is their data service. So over the weeks, you've heard us talk about Dataverse, right? So Dataverse is one of the elements that connect these two systems together. Now, watch this carefully. I will start from here. While I am on my Dynamics, I said it in the very first training that we had. If you remember, if you've seen that video, I said that when you see a Microsoft Dynamics system like this, right? Every Microsoft CRM model are all what we call the model driven apps. So every CRM module are model driven application. What do we mean by that? It means that they are built off the engine of the model driven application. So where you have your forms, your views. So the user interface of your CRM system is from your forms and your views, right? And then you have your groups, you have your areas, as you can see below on my screen, and then you have your groups with each of their sub areas. Remember, I also said it then that your sub areas are your database tables. So when you see your sub areas are either your database tables, they are either dashboards, they are either URL you want to engage with, thereabout. So I'll just show us a very just show us a sample of what I'm talking about, right? So if we go to let's take a quick dive into Power Apps, right? So go to apps just to show us what I'm talking about. Talk about that. Okay, good. So let me see. Customer service workspace. Let me see which one we can just open up to see to use for now. Okay, good. So you can see customer service hub, right? Everybody. So what I'm going to do is let's see if we can access it from the backend side, and then let's see how what we're talking about really come and play together. All right. So I'm just going to edit this. All right. So you can see what I'm saying. So when you understand that idea behind the fact that, oh, these systems are model driven oriented, then when we get to the point of how we can now start extending this ideology outside, it makes a lot of sense, right, to us. All right. So let's do I'm going to go to the for me. All right. Okay, fantastic. So just wait a moment for it. So I need us to just let's take it slowly. All right, we'll take it slowly so that we can follow the journey through. Okay. All right. Let's wait for it. Okay, let's go. So once this open, the first thing we want to see is look at the backend side so you can first understand how the customer service front end comes in, how configurations happen on the front end of the customer service. So this is like what we call the application designer for your customer service. Now watch this carefully, everybody. Watch this carefully. You can see that on my screen you are able to see all of these elements: account, activity, there's a custom table here, and all of this. You can see all of these elements, right, that you're seeing. You can see as I'm scrolling down, see as how plenty they are. So all of these elements you are seeing here are what forms exactly what you saw when I come here. So you can see all of this: account, contact, social profiles, trainings. All of these you're seeing is exactly what you see here. Now let me show you how interesting it is, so you can understand when we now get to the point of talking about the embedding or the configuration, you really understand what we're doing. Notice that you have what we call the sitemap. I'm sure Ayo did all of this with us. We have the sitemap, and then we have the dashboards and all of that. Now I'm going to go to the sitemap because that's like the navigation. So let's edit the sitemap here, which is the navigation, and watch this carefully. Watch this carefully. This is where it gets interesting. Everybody, can you see my screen? So this is the sitemap designer, or we can in general palette, let's call it the back end of the Microsoft Dynamics. All right. We can say the one of the back end. We have the database side, which is another back end side. But let's say this is like the back end of the Microsoft Dynamics. Okay. Now you would notice this. Watch this carefully, side by side, everybody. Let's make it very interesting. Side by side. Let me see if I can even drop the screen down for us in a way it can even get more interesting. So, okay, but don't worry, so that it doesn't get too small. But let's see if we can increase this screen a bit. All right, better. So now watch this carefully, everybody. Back to the customer service interface. Notice, everybody, if I click below, bottom left, on the bottom left of the screen, what can you see? You're able to see we have service management, scheduling, help and support. So we have 4 different areas, right? service scheduling, uh, and then help and support. Now let's go to the back end and let's see what we have, right? So if we come back to the app designer, can you see them here? Service management, scheduling, help and support. Does that make sense? Right? So you can see that this is exactly what we have, and then help and support, right? What we have on the back end. So the idea is I can add or remove from what I have. That's the customization side of things. So I can decide to come here and say, you know what, under help and support. Okay, before I even go there, now watch that, notice that what under the service, you can see something like I'm still under service right now, guys. Is under service, one selected. So under the service interface, under the service page, we have my work, customers, service, insight, knowledge. What else? Customer asset and template. Let's go to the UI, to the front end and see. See my work, customers, service, insight, knowledge, customer asset, and template. So you can see that we are on the service page and we can see all these groups. They are called groups and sub areas. Okay. In case I don't know, I'm sure we have done the fundamentals for us. So you can see there are three major elements: area, group, and sub area. Area, group, and sub area. So what do we call the area? You see where I have service. This service is the area. You see the blue guy is the group, and then every other thing under it is a sub area. The sub area can now be different things. Can be a dashboard, a table, a URL, or even a web resource. All right, that's what the sub areas could be. So, for example, let's do a very tricky one. Let's add just one group on this particular screen. Just something very interesting, right? But before we add it, let's confirm others. Yeah, so that we don't run ahead of ourselves. So before we add, let's confirm others. So this is service management. I'm going to click on service management right now, and let's see what we have. I click on service management. Can you see that when I clicked on service management, what do we have? We have case settings, unified routing, service terms, templates, and yeah, and other things. So we have different groups. So let's go to the front end and let's check it also. So if we come to the front end and we switch, you know this, we switch to service management. Let's see. Does that make sense? Case settings, unified routing, service terms, so knowledge management. So you already see that what this is this construction of the model driven application. So what you're seeing now is we are on the model driven app. You see that it's showing power app top, right? So model driven app is a kind of power apps. And so that's to let you know that what every of your dynamics customer service, customer engagement, CRM, whether it is customer service, whether it is sales, whether it is marketing, field service, or project service, this is how they were developed. They are built off a model driven app. But you know that I cannot even do all of this if you don't have a database already in place. So the journey is from your database or your data model to your site map designer and then to the front end. So if I go to, if we look at our step apps, this is Power Apps, right? Yeah. And we decide to say, you know what, let's go out of here. Let me duplicate it. Let's do something interesting. So visibility of what we're doing. Okay, good. So if you go out of here for now, to tables, follow this carefully. We're inside Dataverse, right? Where we have all our tables, is all Dataverse. Let's bring it up a bit. Watch this. If I click on all, I'm just going to click on all so we can see a lot of things. You can see these are different tables that we have. So when I tell you that most of those things you see on your model element are either tables, dashboards, and the likes, you contract, accounts, and the likes, right? So let's check what they are. Watch this. So we are here. I'm just going to search. Let's just do a quick search. Let's search for account, right? Oh, I don't have to search. Can you see account? Account is a table. So let's check what we have. So we can see case is it. Let's search for Q. So those are element of see Q is here. So and so you see that every are what we bring together to build that front. So when you have this properly structured, created like this, you can go to the sitemap designer and then use the sitemap designer to now properly as you want. And it's very simple in creating, right? Let's do one, just one, and then so that you can see how it works. Let me go back to the main screen. So let's say we want to add, we already have an area, or let's add our own area just for fun. So let's add an area, and then I'm just going to call the area D365UG. So let's just call it that way. So that's the area. So you see that we have an extra area added. Good stuff, right? Under this area, we can now add a group. So we go back and say, you know what, add group, right? So let's call it maybe newbies. Okay, I'm just going to click and then title will be newbies. Yeah, let's just call it that way. Newbies. We can add another group, right? And call it maybe expertise. Can you see that, guys? So we have two groups. So under each group, you can now decide to add anything you want to add, right? All right. I'm not at the Power BI side yet. I will have done that, but let's take it, like I said, we'll take it one by one. All right. And we'll try to manage time also. So under the newbies, I can go and add a sub area. Don't forget, watch this carefully. When I click on sub area, watch what is happening on the right hand side, everybody. Right hand side. So it's telling me to select the type of what element do you want to bring in? It says, do you want to bring in a dashboard? What is a dashboard? This is a dashboard. Let's go back to the front end and see dashboard here, guys. If I click on this dashboard, see dashboard. It's more like a chart. You can have different kind of dashboard. If I change to my knowledge dashboard now, you can see. So dashboard is like a quick reporting view. There's nothing yet, but let's look at dashboard and what is on. All right, but you are able to see what I'm talking about, right? So this is a dashboard. So if I needed a dashboard, then I could easily pick a dashboard, right, and put it there. If I have a web resource, maybe you have a JavaScript file, an XML that you want to use to modify something, how you can select. If you want to bring just a table in your Dataverse database, you can bring the table. But let's bring in a table first. So let's just pick any table, right? Let me look for any custom table. I think I saw one. So this is my friend's custom table. I'll pick his table. That's a table, right? See, it's here now. Can you see the table is added? I can go back and say I want to add another sub area. All right. Watch sub area. And this time I might say I want to add a URL. Maybe take us to https dot say trials dot dynamics. Yeah. .com. So which means when anybody click on this in the application, it should take them to this URL, right? That's what we're saying. Let's give it a title. Let's say dynamics trial, something like that. So let's put it at, let's peg it at these two. Let's go to the second group. Same thing. When you get to the next group again, what are you adding? You are adding sub area. Remember that you are always adding sub area. Why am I taking us through this before we leverage on Power Platform, so that you can understand how the user interface. Lola is here. Maybe they will come. Maybe there will be one day where they would expose us to the take us through how the backend of Dynamics works. All right, but I'm just taking you through this so that when I take us to Power Platform and we want to do any integration or how they can be extended, you at least have an understanding of where we're coming from. All right, good. So expertise. Let's add another sub area. Let's down just for good fun. Let's add a dashboard, right? And watch this. It's asking us to pick a dashboard. So when we go down, see, it says select a dashboard. So if there was any dashboard I have, I will just select it here, right? If you have any dashboard at all, see different kind of dashboard, different. So if I had one, I can just bring it in. Let me pick one. Let me say sales dashboard, for example, right? See, I have a dashboard. Cool stuff, right? That's one. Another thing is, let's add one more. Let's say web resource, but there's no web resource, but let's just add anyone we see. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so let's say web resource, and she's asking us for the web resource URL, right? So for this case, because you see that they are all web resources, right? Different web resource. So for example, you might be querying an API. Maybe you are querying an API to get in an information somewhere, and you want that information displayed on your instance. You can use these are the things you can leverage web resource on. So let me just pick any of these random ones, right? I saw the LinkedIn load gen. Let me just pick it, and let's just give it a title, call it LinkedIn. You see that as I was changing the title, it's changing here. So we've added D365 area with two groups, right? Let's save, let's publish, let's see how it looks like on the front end. So that at least you understand how the back end of that system works. I'm sure many people look at it. How does this interface come about? It might have been maybe the first 4 weeks you've been thinking it in your head. How did it come about? How did it come about? So let's see that. Then I will now take us through extensibility. So I'm just going to publish after publish. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, let me refresh the page. Shouldn't take that much time to publish. Mm. Okay, let's confirm if that was published. Okay. So it's quite a lot of elements that you have in there. So it's understandable with the level of elements. Uh, okay. All right. So I'll save again here. Then let's validate. So we just have to go through all of this, saving, validating, so that we can have a reflection on the front end. Don't worry. These are just warnings. That's no issues about the warning. I don't know why I'm unable to publish, but let's try and look at the front end. I don't want to go through that troubleshooting right now. Do an add refresh here. We might not see it because we didn't publish. I don't know why I don't know if it's my reception or what's dragging the screen. But let's see. Hopefully, uh, uh, okay, fantastic. So even though the screen was dragging, anyways, but it came. So look at my body, right? opened on your side, you will see that the area 365 user group. Can you see it appear now? So if I click on it now, we should be expecting to see two groups, right? So I'm going to click on it, and then on clicking on it, it should open up two different groups for us: newbies and right, newbies and expertise. And then you can see that everything we added, the table, there, right, dashboard, the so if I click on this dynamics trial, it should take us to another page entirely. Remember, it's a URL. So if I click on dynamics trial right now, can you see it opens trials.dynamics.com, because that exactly is what on the back end. That exactly is what was set on the back end. So you see the beauty of what we're talking about here, right? So so you see now, this is part of, anybody sees this would not know this is part of the whole solution right now. Can you see the beauty? It's part of the whole solution. I have my dashboard here. If I click on the dashboard now, watch, boom. See, the dashboard is here. If I click on the LinkedIn, this is a resource. I hope it's a valid resource though. If it is, it should load up some things, right, for us. But the idea is, can you see the two groups, newbies, expertise? Can you see the area, D365 user group, and then it's part of the larger customer service. So when we tell you something like we can configure the system, that's what we're saying, right? Even though the system was deployed out of the box, what we call OOB, right? Out of the box, right? However, we are able to configure it to say, you know what, in my organization, we need an extra area, we need to add ABC to it, and you're able to do that. Fantastic, right? So that's what we're doing. Now, don't forget that the supply of all of these elements, either you have a database table. So this are the tile table here. If we go back to Power Apps here and we search for it, we can find it, right? Are they tile? It's a table. So it's a table that is valid on the database. So that database table forms what we are able to use on the front end in building the model driven application that you can now call, can you see, that you can now call a customer service, a sales hub, or whatever system you want to call it in this scenario. Fantastic, right? Now let's move forward and do some real work. I hope that uh introduction is very clear and has given us that background in this scenario. Now, my organization now says, fantastic job, Ayo, right? But we have some things we would like to achieve. For example, when a new case is created, can you send notification or can an email be dropped to people to say, you know what, there's a new case, something like that, right? Now, inside the dynamics itself, we can leverage on the dynamics workflows, business rules to achieve a lot of things. But you want to be able to have that flexibility to really do things. Don't forget what I said, everybody, that what links these guys together is the database, because they have the same table. So Power Platform is sitting on Dataverse, Dynamics is sitting on Dataverse. So that means they share, information across board, as it were. So in this scenario, if I go to the Power Platform, I can go to the Power Automate inside the Power Platform and create automations, right, that are valuable to my customer service. We do a lot of things with customer service, right? For example, let's pick a case. For every case, there's a customer. So that means engagement happens across board with customers, right? So let me open one of these cases, for example, and let's look at the customer. So the customer here is Ayo. So if I open Ayo up, right? If I open Ayo up, watch this carefully. Watch this carefully. So the customer called Ayo, right? So engagement with this customer. So there's calls, there's mails, there's appointments scheduled, and all of those elements done around this customer. So which means I might want to create automation around all of these engagement that happens with the customer. Now, if I click on this plus icon, you remember that These are engagement that could happen, but don't forget, all of these are also tables. They are activity tables, as it were, right? In this case, so which means I can leverage Power Automate to what to write things as I would love. You get the point. Watch this now, everybody. Let's go to Power Automate and let's start from there. So how can Power Automate be useful for my customer service in a solution? So this is the Microsoft Power Automate platform where you can then go into and then start creating different forms of what automations, right? So you can create as much as possible. You are able to talk to different platforms and leverage on them as much as you want. Now, in our case, let's do a very simple automation, right? In this case, say, so the first rule is in creating any automation, there are two major things that are very important. You have what we call triggers, you have what we call actions. So, trigger is what should happen before this automation runs. Action is what are the things then that should then go on and happen eventually, right? So, in this scenario, we are dealing with customer service. The database of the customer service is Microsoft Dataverse. So, which means practically everything that happens with the customer service is powered by the Microsoft Dataverse. So, which means the Microsoft Dataverse becomes an element that we can use to achieve anything. So, watch this carefully. I come here now to say, you know what? For my trigger, I'm choosing the Microsoft Dataverse. Yes, I'm choosing the Microsoft Dataverse. And what I'm doing is this. When a row is added, modified, or deleted, what does that mean? It means if a case is created, if a case is updated, if a change happened on a case, or if anybody go ahead and delete a case, I want you to now perform these actions afterwards. Can you see that? I want to perform this set of actions afterwards. So those are things that can be done. So let's pick one, for example. So you can see how Power Platform comes in play. So it's going to connect. Don't forget they are in the same organization. So the same credential is working and all of those things, right? See, then I would say what I want is any of the three, whether you add, whether you delete, whether you modify, any of them select. Is asking me to select a table. So the question is, what action are you looking at? So I'm saying maybe if this action happens on a case, right? On a case. So I will select the table called what? Cases. Can you see what is going on, everybody? So you know your tables, you know the tables you've created, you know what you are looking at. And this is how you can use Power Automate to really play around your dynamic systems. Fantastic, right? And I'll say organization wide, irrespective. All right. So I want to say that what if anybody maybe create anything, update a case, delete a case, right? Check if the person is maybe Ayo. I can do a condition to say, check if the person is me. If the person is not me, or if the person is somebody else, right? If the person is not that person, alert somebody. Let me do a quick pull, right, of one of my colleagues' email. Let me just do a quick pull of anybody's email and then use just to see so we can really um enjoy the nitty-gritty of what we're trying to achieve. So let me copy this. So I will say that what do a condition, and condition says let me say let's look for created by something like that. So let's look for maybe say okay. So created by come on now. Okay, created by value. So if the person who created is equals this, yeah, that's fine. So we wanted to check if the person who created this equals this person. If it is this person that created it, then nothing should happen. But if it is not the person, okay, I want you to send an email, like a notification, something like that, like an email notification to say, you know what, somebody is tampering So with your, case, something like that, please, so that you can probably work on your permissions. Are you seeing the ideology around what's going on now, everybody? This is an automated system that we're working with. So let's do send an email, right? Okay. Uh, I don't know what's going on with. All right. So let's use this. So you can use any mail service. All right. You have email notification. You can use Outlook. You can leverage. So let's say send an email to Ayo at yeah to this person to say let's say permission breach, yeah, something like that. So let's say hello Ayo, kindly check the newly created case. Watch this carefully. A user not Amie has just worked on it. Kind regards. Say admin. Let me do something. Let's see if we can pull in the case, right? That we're talking about here. So let's say case title. Should I use that? Yeah. So let's do something like that. Case, yeah, something like that. So see case title below. All right, good stuff, right? So what we're trying to do here is this: to say that what if anybody has worked on a case and is not this person, yeah, then if this is true, if the person who worked on it is this person, fantastic. If not, send this email notification, right? Let me give this flow a better name than untitled. So you see the very simple automation I've written, right? So this is, let me just say case permissions, something like that. Let's just put it that way. Case permissions. So what am I doing? I'm using Power Automate, as simple as this automated flow to, you know, to make my, so a lot of things can happen on the case. For example, you might write automations to say if a case is assigned to somebody, let me know, or let the person know that they've received a case has been assigned to you, or if a case is 30 days old, oh, you have a case in the pool, it's 30 days old, kindly attend to it. You can set different automations, different notifications, different rules. Like I said, you can do some of them directly with customers. Customer service has its own duplicate detection rule, business rule, and all. But if you want to go more, you want to expand it more, add more flair to it, conditionals, switch, and all of that. Power Automate allows you then do those things. I'm just going to do this simple one. We'll test it, and then we'll go see how Power Apps can also come in play here, and then we'll see how Power BI can come in play here, and all of that. And then you can just go from there, pull up and do your own thing, right? So let's test this element, right? Let's test it out. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go back to the case, to customer service, and then make a change on any of the case, right? Let me see. Let me go back now and create a case or something. Okay. Let's use do you use modified or create? Let's use create. It's not bad. Let's use create. Just say I create a new case. Let me say reception. Watch this carefully. Reception issues, right? Customer. I will choose Omolola Hafre. Origin. Case origin. Let's say it was a phone call. Contact. That's fine. Let's leave every other thing the same way. So let's just leave every other thing the same way, and then we just save the case. Okay, I get. All right, so let's do Uh, hold on. Let's look for this as an account. So I get it. Okay. All right, good. A case has been created, everybody. Who created this case? This person, this user here, right? Created the case. So it's not, this is the user, Ayo at AlphaZit, right? Not Amy, not Amy or something, right? Now let's go and check the automation we wrote and let's see what is happening with our automation. Can you see this? Now let's check what happens inside this flow that just ran. And let's see what the result of that flow is all about. So you are seeing that even though the flow is somewhere running, actions are happening on the customer service, but the flow is listening, is a listening, logic algorithm that we've done for that purpose, right? So when this flow is done running, it should, you know, follow through with what we're expecting. Check if who created that element is MEA. If it is MEA, do nothing. If it is not MEA, update the admin that something is going wrong here, right? Like I said, I guess I'm just having a bad day with internet. But let's check case permissions. Let's load it out. Boom. It's showing succeeded, but I'm expecting something I'm not seeing, but I will check. I'm expecting an email. I'm not seeing the mail yet, but let's see. So let's see what happened, everybody. Watch. Let's see. So can you see the expression is false? So which means that's good, right? Because Ayo at something created it, not Emie. Good. And then an email was sent. See, the email was sent to this person of this. Let's go and check the mailbox because I'm not seeing any mailbox. I'm not. Oh yeah, here comes the mail, right? I just got a mail, and let's read the mail. See the Ayo, kind of newly created case. A user, not Emie, has just worked on it. See the case title below. The case title is called Reception Issues. Is it correct? Let's check. Reception issues. Can you see? So I got the mail that something is going on with our case. Can you see the way Power Automate has come in play now to give you the broad view? The interesting thing is you could even pick more information out. That's the idea. If you remember when I was creating that flow earlier, everybody, let me do a quick return to that for you so you see. Notice that when I was doing was I put to a lot of my case and I could leverage on what I was talking about. Let's go down back. Let's go back to the mail. And I'll just click on any random space here. I'll just click on any random to pull to the screen on a very large. So all I said was the case title. So imagine I want to see a lot of things. Maybe I want to see what the person has done. Let me see something like so yeah, see, I can see when did you modify it? Was there an old time? Was there sentiment? Like I can see a lot of things. Do you have an appointment made? Stuff like that. Anything that has to do with the case. But now I'm even just talking to the trigger. If I wanted more, all I needed to just do is actually get items from that case, maybe from that specific case, right? I can say, you know what, Dataverse, watch this. Let me say about. Let's use list rows, okay, or get row by ID, anyone. I can decide to do that and then be intentional to pull in information from that case itself, row cases, and then let's use by customer. Which one should I use? Okay, use the ID. So you see that, so and limit it to the case and pull in as many information from the case as possible and then write the automation. So if I go down to, let me just use a compose card to pull in information. Now, guys, this is not it's not a Power Automate training. What these elements can do, as it were, so that when you are trying things on your own, you are able to, you understand, modify. And if you don't have an experience of Power Automate and the likes, at least this learning Dynamics customer service, as much as I'm following the user group to learn, now I see that there are things I can pick alongside that now makes you a complete business applications developer, as it were. Yeah, makes sense. Good. So let's see now. Watch this
Awesome.
now, guys. Can you see that there's more things now? I can see the case description. Yes. Go ahead, Lola.
Yes. So, amazing all that you've been doing. It has been so fantastic. You're showing us how we can actually extend this using Power Automate. So, one quick question. So, while we were actually on the dynamic side of things, I saw that you tried to pick Omolola and it did not save. So, can you explain what happened at that time? Is it because, say, Omolola is not a contact that you've created, or what happened there?
Oh, okay. So what happened there is because so Omolola is not part of this customer. So there's something we call account and contact. Okay. So which I think we did in the very first training. We broke that down.
Yes.
So
Yes.
one of the things that brings all the Dynamics and enterprise together is what we call the customers. So on the customers, we have what we call account and contact. So AY Dynamics is an account, and then we already have contacts that are mapped to that account. So Omolola is not inside that account. So because I picked that Omolola as a name, it's saying that no, this person is not part of this account. So it means I would need to look for the account that Omolola is part of. You get, and then select that customer first. So customer is the same thing as like account, okay? And then pick the contact that is there. So that was the error you all saw. So it means when you are creating accounts, account is like saying Microsoft is an account, right? But Omolola is a contact in Microsoft. You see that? So which means you cannot pick say an Oracle and then you pick Omolola. It will not find Omolola in Oracle. It will find Omolola in Microsoft. Does that make sense? So that was the error you saw earlier. All right.
That's
So that was
very
I said I can't find this
fine.
contact
Thank
here.
you. Thank
All
you.
right. So you can even see the mail. I think I saw the mail now. The mail was like ayo@aydynamics.com, something like that. All right, so that was the error. All right, good stuff. Thank you for the question. All right. So going back to what we're doing, so you can see now that I'm able to pick more things, guys, right? In terms of the case, I can pick the case age, number. You see the beauty now, right? The case number. If I put the case number now, we'll see. So depending on, that's what I can do. I can use Power Automate to achieve all of those bucket of things, right? And that's where Power Automate comes in. Now, the second extra hedge that this gives you, above maybe leveraging on business rules or other elements like that, is that you can actually work with multiple tables at the same time. And that's the interesting thing. So imagine I'm not just working with case as a table alone, right? Probably looking at even the table and writing a different automation, maybe still in the same dataverse, right? So I'm saying still get a row by ID for me, but this time around, apart from case, I want to pick a contact because I need to map a contact to a case, something like that. So I can easily come here and do contact. And don't forget that contact is a different table. So you can see now, I have picked contact, and I can determine what kind of information do I need in terms of getting the contact, so the contact value, something like that. So you see, I've picked the contact. This is a contact table. I can just rename it to show that say get contact, right? And I can say this is get case, something like this, right? Get cases. Yeah. So you can see how I'm able to pick different tables. So I can decide to say, from this contact, follow me carefully. I just want to take, so what I've just done earlier, I just want to take it ahead. So I can say, let me bring in a compose card here. So compose card is a data operation that can help you hold, variables and values. So I can do a compose card, and I want to say, you know what? get a contact, pull out a contact here for me. All right. Uh Anyways, I need to first break it into pieces before I can pick a contact. I have to do a pass JSON to break it first into pieces though. So, but let's not go through that element of doing it. So you might decide to want to pull an information from contact, maybe just pull a first name or pull the email. So what I can pull the email and I can see, so I can say that what if email equals, so instead of using created by, see that I can change this to this output if it equals this. So watch, if contact output, can you see, equals to this, that means if somebody creates or modifies, right, check if the output of contact is this. If it is this, right, I can say go ahead and perform maybe one action if you want. If it equals to this, you can still go ahead and send the same mail. You see that? Same process, but you can go through different method. It depends on how expansive you want that idea or that automation should appear. And if we run the same automation, I'm just going to delete this compose card for now. Let me see. No, let's leave it. Let's get something. Let's get the case number. I like this. So get the case number for me. Put my automations here. Let me make it clean. Let's make it clean. Come up. Yeah. Let me say, give me my case. Let me say, I like the case ID thing or case number. Where was that? Case number. Yeah. Case number. And then I can say, you know what? Case title. Apart from case title, maybe case number. What? I can just pick the case number from this compose. It's as simple as that, right? So smooth something. So I can say maybe this is case number. I'm changing it to case number. What was this again? Let's leave it. Let's leave it as this. So let's bring in that element. So see what I've done. Let me just test with the last element. Let's just test with the last element we used. This guy. So that we can just so you will see that it will still go through the same process and the same procedure. What we have just done is we just done a very expansive automation. It's nothing different from what we've done earlier, right? It's just to add a few things. It's just to let us know that with the Power Automate, yeah, I know it was going to fail. With the Power Automate, you can do a lot of things across board. All right, in this case, I know it was going to fail because of the ID of the flow that we use. So you can do a lot of things across board, leverage on what you want to get, and all of those things. So the beauty is this, right? Don't worry about the get contact information that field. That's just the idea of the contact that field. So let's not waste too much time on that. So the beauty is that with the Power Automate, you are able to use that Power Automate to perform actions that happens on your customer service, right? Bring in any table you want as much as you want, then leverage or use the table as it were, then achieve exactly what you're looking for in this scenario, right? To get your final output as much as you want. So that's for Power Automate. Now, Power Automate happened outside customer service. Notice that outside customer service, right? Which means I am here, I did this automation, and the automation is reflecting what has happened. What about the other side of things? Maybe Power Apps, right? What can Power Apps do for you? Now, what Power Apps can do for you is you might have scenarios of maybe you want people to be able to perform actions, and then without even coming to customer service, because a lot of people, customer service is meant to be maybe like a organization oriented application that you don't want exposed to the front end side of things. So maybe you are building a customer service instance for your organization, and then you want staffs to be able to perform actions, a few actions with the customer service issues, right, rather than eating that larger system. So if you look at my screen, this is just like a very simple Power Apps to say, a very simple straightforward 3 screen Power Apps to say, I want to be able to see all the cases that I have, right? See all the cases that I have, as you can see on my screen. And apart from that, to be able to a case, right? Maybe submit a new one, maybe, stuff like that. These are things you want to be able to do. And then if you do this, how does it happen on the customer service side of things, right? In this scenario. So for example, I have this here. Let me play this for example. Let's look at we have this case. What's the case title? Says you have been subscribed from blah 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 blah. Let me not let me go out. Let's do this. This is more interesting. Let's say we want to create a new case. I think that's more interesting. Let's do new case. So you see that. So I'm saying maybe it's a new case. Definitely, if it is a new case, it's probably waiting for information. Say in progress, origin. Let's say web. Case title. Let's say bad products. Bad product delivery. Yeah, I don't have the so priority depending. Maybe my SLA is very high. I choose high. Watch this, everybody. I'm just going to submit, right? Don't worry. So submit. In this case, bad product delivery. I want to check something. Watch this. Cases. Into let me see what error is giving me. It's error. Oh, okay. Sorry, so it's giving me a network error. I need to refresh. Let's do this. Let me say case submission. Save. All right. Let's just wait for it for 30 seconds. We'll save. We'll refresh the page. So let's do add refresh. It's been open for a while, so the cached information is gone. Let's do an add refresh. Refresh. Playing with me today. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right. Come on now. Let's go. Okay, it's opening up. So the application you saw in the box application, okay, so there's nothing on it. Exactly. So what I just did for that application was this. I just selected case, nothing. So, and then the system automatically create it. So we don't even have to do anything for now. We can just leverage it that way. Okay, but I didn't save it. So hence the error we got. So that's fine. Let it load up, save it, we'll publish it, and then we'll test it again. Okay. So when we do this, don't forget now, before we test it, I need to show you what will make that information any on customer service, because that's the idea. That's the idea of what we're looking at here. What is the assurance of when I build my application with Canvas app and I want it to have connections with Microsoft, have connections? What is their connectivity like? What is causing the connectivity and all of those things, right? So fantastic. So now I'm just going to save this back and then we'll look at all the elements and then we'll test the elements. Okay. So let's save. Okay. Let's save it. Good. What was the name we called it earlier? Let me say issue up, issue request, something like that. Let's just save it. All right. So So it's saving. You can see the rolling arrow. Okay, good. Let's publish. Let's publish it. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Now watch this, everybody. So how is this happening? The rule again. Please follow me again. Let's go back again to the rule. What is the rule? The connection between Power Platform and Dynamics is what? Database. So when you are building a Power Apps, all right, I'm sure people watching this video, you might not be a Power Apps expert, you might just be a Dynamics, which is fantastic, or you might just be a Power Apps person who is trying to see how you can leverage Power Dynamics. So the rule is this: in every Power Apps you are building, right, you must connect it to a data source. Right? Your apps, the same thing with your Power Automate. Remember in Power Automate, when I wanted to send an email, I picked Outlook. That's my data source connector. When I picked Dataverse. So it's same thing in Power Apps. What you need to do is what you need to bring in your connector. But this time around, I did started the application from the connector side. So if I go to the left-hand side here, everybody, where you have this data, and I click on it, you see that already there is a table we are talking to. The table is called cases now. So cases is already a table. You remember the same cases, right? In Power Automate earlier. Excuse me, please. In Power Automate earlier. Come on with internet. Why are you guys doing me like this? Okay. So automate here. Remember we picked cases. Cases. Can you see that? Cases. Good. So in Power Apps, the same thing. Case. So because I'm already talking to that table case, my Power Apps is built off the columns of that table. You get the point. It's built off the columns of that table. So that you see, if we go back to our tree view, and then we'll pick all the come on, open up, and we'll pick all the screens elements, like the way I was submitting information earlier. If I click here on this element, you can see this is just meant to submit the form. It's as simple as that. I'm not even doing anything extraordinary right now. It's as simple as that. So we can easily pick any of this form right now and just submit it, and let's see how it happens, right? So first thing is, let's say we want to create a very fresh case, a new case from scratch. I'll play the app. What the case I did, let me see whether it was registered. Okay, good. It wasn't registered. I expected that, so fine. All right, fantastic. So let's say this case is in progress, origin is web, case title is bad product. Yeah, bad product. And yeah, leave it at high. And then let's submit it. As simple as that, right? You don't manage. Okay, let me see. So it's customer ID. Okay, let me edit form one. Edit form one. It's correct, actually. Okay, okay. It's correct. Okay, so let's write the function. Come on. So let's write the function, and then the form is edit form. Go back. Okay, and then let's see. Hmm. Okay. Let me not waste our time on this. Uh, it's a runtime thing, so let me do this. So let's go back to Power Apps, and then I want to check the app itself. All right. So is that on the case table, there are some columns that are required, but the columns are not on the app. Okay. So which means we would have to either go back to the columns and then remove them, or so that's what exactly is going on. So there are required columns there, and we can't start searching for that right now. So uh, so instead I will do a little trick, and then we'll solve it. So we don't waste time. Just very one. So all right. So this is what I will do. I'll just create from scratch, so I can eliminate those elements. So it's as simple as that. All right. You know, one of the beautiful thing about doing this is also being able to think on your feet and troubleshoot whatever you do. Let me say case app. I need to be app actually, so that we can see how it works. Let's do tablet. I actually feel. Oh no, let's just do phone. Let's do phone. So we'll just do something very small and then we'll move. Don't worry. So what I want to show us is when you build an app, how the app can function with your customer service, and then I will show you how you can embed it in customer service. All right. So I'll show us those two things. So let's do this. So let's just first thing first. Let's bring in a form, the same form. So let's just insert a form. Edit form now in this case. All right. So let's bring in an edit form. And so edit form. We can do quick things. Let's not waste time. Just quick things. Okay, bring it to the top. Let's say boom, boom, boom. Delete. Rename. Let me just say home screen. Yeah, quick stuff for now. Insert label. Yeah. Okay, let's just do. What? Okay. So let's do this. All right. So I'm just going to do this, and then let's say I say insert a quick thing that we can just do. Let me say yeah, submit tickets, something like that. All right, good. So submit ticket. So say this is ticket screen. Quick one. And let's just do navigate to ticket screen. Screen transition dot cover. Okay. And then on this screen, so yeah, just watch me. I know you might feel like what this guy is doing. So what I'm doing is just creating a very simple and just All right, and it's good I'm creating it on your in your face, because that at least that shows you what's possible with Power Apps also at the same time. So we're killing, we're selling, we're killing one bird a bit. So let us call this submit. All right. So now the next thing, right? Don't forget. So I need to bring in. I brought in a form, but I need to connect the form to a data. That's what I want to do. So don't forget, I don't have any data in here yet. So which means I can now go to data here. See the difference now. The other one that was giving us the required table issue, right? Had those elements in. All right. So I did a long journey, opening the data cards one by one, and then making them all required. I don't want to go through that journey. I'm already done. So I can bring in the case. Boom. You see that case table is here. I can connect the case table to this form. I have this form selected. I can easily go here and pick the case, watch, it populates. So to bring in so many of the tables on the form, can you see almost the same thing, right? Case title, case priority, or I want to see. I think case title is a good thing to have. Case number, not really. Not really. I'm going to just remove this because that's going to be created automatically by the table, by the solution itself. Priority is fine, origin is fine, status reason is fine also. Anyways, so let's leave it this way. Let's just leave it this way. We can do other things with it later, but like I said, for now, you can just, if I want to make it more interesting, I can just bring in here and just something very simple, and just call this something like that, right? Just make it in the middle. You get the point, eh? So it's just, you have attended some of our trainings on Power Apps, right? Quick application development, no hassle. 28 all right. Align center. Yeah, fantastic. She's good. Right.
So, Ely, I see that you
And
are
then
quickly
let's
putting
go back to
together
the
a
tree
small
view.
application.
Ah, this aesthetic is bad. So let's do save. Good. We'll submit the ticket now, and then just like do this quickly. All right. So let's say what's the name? Form. Name it. Let's call it case form. Let's call it case submit form, and then case form, right? So let's just leave it at that. Submit form, case form, and then we're good. So now let's, and then fine. So submit here, it should submit this form into the database. That's what we're trying to achieve here, right? Oh yeah. Uh, New. Don't worry, case title is bad product. Bad product. Just quick one. Normal origin, email, in progress, submit. Uh, uh, mm, let me see what else is required. No. I guess the customer value is giving us issue. So let's do something. So let's go to customer service and let's bring this in. Let's just go and do that. So what we'll do is now if I want to bring this into on the customer service side, I've applications a lot, right? Bring them in there. All right, in this scenario, what can I do? Because the idea is, like I said, you might want to front this particular front end that we just done inside the customer service instance, right? And instead of having to go back and forth in this scenario, so what do we then do in that scenario? So what we do to achieve that is this. So if I go to my model driven backend, just like we did earlier, then you go inside your form. So like I said, form anything you want to achieve in terms of your development, as it were, for your model driven application. So if we go into any of the table we have, okay, I think Adetayo is one of the tables, which is good. So if I open this up and now I need maybe a case submitted and that application embedded inside my you know customer service, as it were. So I go to the form, then I can bring in that application here. So we need a few information from that app, right, to be able to generate that element. So I'll just go to details, and then we're back in the form. So let the form open up. We'll bring it into the form, and then we're able to use it. So you see how my Power Apps can need some inside the form directly. So let's watch this quick one. All right, good. So right now I'm in the form inside Microsoft form. All right, everything you see on the model driven that we are putting information, this is how it happens. You see, for example, let me show you what I'm saying. Come on, I'm really having a hard time with internet today. What's going on? So you see, this is the form. Can you see this form? So if you go back here, can you see the same form here? Right, something here. Let us add a column, just a very simple column. Let's say one column session is fine. So we have a column session here, and let's say this is where we want to put our Canvas app, something like that. To Canvas, we can bring in our Canvas app here, right, as it were. So here I have this, then I can easily go to display. So I select the Canvas app. So all is requesting bring the, and then the app can come and play here. I can even say maybe I just want it in a mobile view. Let me, the app name was this case app, right? Copy. Follow this carefully. You paste it here. Is asking you for the app ID. App ID is here. You can see the app ID here, right? And check the box. Check the box. Maybe not. Let me see the case app. Okay. All right. So watch this now, everybody. It's going to load. Like I said, I'm having a very internet hard time. This is happening to me. All right, let's see. We just refresh it and let's see. Control Shift R. So once this is done, you will see that the app will come up inside the model driven app. So that you need that kind of information. Now you can have the app deployed to external users. They submit information on the form, on the app, and then the information is reflected on the app database. However, you can also have it embedded inside the model driven app. So all of these are elements through which Power Apps itself can serve as that appealing front end, appealing UI that we're looking for when we're talking about the whole synchronization between the power and system, as it were, in this scenario, right? To serve as your application information receiving model. Come on, right? Information receiving model, or at the same time serve as your limiting factor, limit around moving users between so many applications, which is something that you might not want to do eventually, right? Okay, let's try another app. Let's not waste our time. If it does not work, then it means I'm having, it's actually a very uh, okay. Let me look for another app entirely. Most of them are model driven. Okay. Uh, okay. Let me try. Let me try this. Funny enough, this is a model driven app. So, and then let's bring in the ID. Copy. Okay. Mm, into table column. That's fine. Okay. So at this stage, I think it's a system thing for now. So it's a system thing for now. So it's saying they're having trouble. It's a system for now. I will still save it. Because let's pretend, because funny enough, it might come up. Though we'll see an idea that it's trying to come up on the front end. Let me refresh it. Publish it. Lola perhaps is doing me bad today. It's not good.
Yeah,
Perhaps
it's
my internet are doing me
basically
bad
exactly
today.
your internet is actually is not in support of today's training. But it's all good. We understand the concepts that we are trying to achieve,
So
right?
bad.
So
So
we
so
can
bad.
see that.
It's taking time to even reload.
So we can basically see that what we're actually trying to do is that you can customize Power Automate, and you can basically customize customer service using Power Automate or Power Apps. And one of the will I say what the connection between the two is actually the database, which is Dataverse. So you can manipulate or speak to your dataverse and tell it that whenever somebody is trying to maybe spool an information from it or submit an information to it, it should notify the original creator of that particular record. And that was one of the things that you did with Power Automate. And of course, when you moved to Power Apps, you're trying to, now submit into the Power Apps. But we could see that internet and all of that, the system was giving us issue. But I'm sure that everyone watching, they are able to get the concepts behind it. And another fantastic thing that I've seen you do today is ability to understand error and resolve error. So that's one of the most important things that you're going to face if you are whether a core developer, a power apps developer, or automation engineer. You would see these errors real time, and I love that. Today is showing us these errors and is able to read them and know what happened and quickly try to resolve it. So that is so fantastic. We're able to see all of that. Another thing is we're able to understand your thought process. We're also able to, be able to develop an application. You walked us through developing application. You walked us through developing automation. That is a different training on its own. All right. So two things to do. If you want to learn automation, or how to build simple application like we've seen Ayotunde do, because you're a Dynamics 365 engineer, you want to learn how to do all of these things. There are two ways to achieve that. Number one, Microsoft Learn. So Microsoft Learn is actually the university of Microsoft. You have amazing courses there for you to actually learn. You learn Power Automate, you learn Power Apps. Another thing, another way that you can actually learn this is we have a sister group, right? Just like the Nigerian Dynamics 365 group, we have the Nigerian Power Platform group where you can actually join them to learn all of this. And we're going to drop the link in our user group. If you're part of our user group, you can just join so that you would be able to learn all of these things. So yeah, Ayatunde, is there any other thing that you would like to really tell us before we call it a day? Hi, Ayo, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm really struggling with the reception right now. But let me see if I can show this. So for people who I don't know if you can hear me though, but for people who work with the Power BI system, there are cases where you customers a lot to actually generate reports. A lot of people require of them. If you look at what I showed us earlier, there are two modes, right? You could generate report out of the box that system, which means you could just outrightly go into whatever solution you are working with. Here, let me solution for example. So you could look for any solution like these guys, right? You could easily just see, just like I have here. You could easily create your chart and dashboard, right? However, they're really large of data, and you really want to do reporting. Then how do I get reports from Power BI, right? So for example, you've had a simple Power BI like this. You've done it. You published it to your Power BI dashboard, but add into the Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem that customer service can see. So there are two ways. Number one is in the Microsoft ecosystem, you need to first Dynamics ecosystem. You need to first give out items. When you go to your Dynamics instance, right? There's something we call. I want to leave this page open because still feel like I have something. If I go Dynamics instance, there's something we call advanced settings. Let me take you a bit back. Hopefully, the reception will allow us come back very fast. So if you're inside your Dynamics, which is where we can easily go to, I think administration now. So the idea is there's something we call enabling Power BI for use. So Microsoft service. If not, you might try to bring you will not be able to, and the next one. So when you go to reporting, then you enable Power BI. Once you do that, you easily go back to your, which is what we'll try to do now. You can easily now go back into your solution, your and then it gives you that access. Watch this here. If I click on Power BI embedded and I try to bring in, I think it's enabled already. See, Power BI report. You can see that this is empty. If I click on Power BI dashboard and I click on the drop down, you can see it's all empty, right? Just because that element has not been uh that element has not been done. So once this loads up, come on. Oh my goodness. This loads up. Once this loads up, there's something called reporting where any report you have, bring them directly inside your customer service, inside your customer as is now. Like I said, feels like it's an off day for both Fiber One. I hope there's Fiber One customer on, staff on this call and Power Apps as well, because it's so difficult for this to load up right now. I don't know why. Let's try it one more time. Oh, fantastic. It opens up. So this is, can you see reporting, everybody? You see reporting. So allow, set to yes, exactly. So set this to yes, and then okay. All right. What we're saying is that what we are opening this system up for, oh God Almighty, we are opening the system up to allow the use of Power BI. So once that is done, then it means that when you go back to your let me refresh this. So we want to, so in that scenario, we want to bring some sort of report, Power BI, into the system, as it were. So once we bring the Power BI into the system, we can easily pick it up here. You see where we have dashboard. So if I come to this dashboard, I can easily find it right here in the dashboard and use it as I want, right? So it will pop up here, and then we can easily leverage, use the dashboard, pick any of the dashboard that we want. So all of these are not just out of the box dashboard. When you put into them, then you can easily find it live in that regard. So let me do uh, nope, new, and then let's uh, visit D, something like that. Let us come on. It's a disaster today, man. It's a disaster. Anyways, it's a disaster anyway. But so what happens most times is, make sure you have your report published to Power BI service, like I've done. So you can see the same nomenclature, the same user. Let's check the same user, which is higher, right? That is logged into Power BI, right? And you can see the visit dashboard. So there's a dashboard already existing here, already in Power BI service. Report on food or in Power BI, they know what I'm. There's Power BI, the online version, because it is from the online version that your Power Apps can then be able to see it, as the case may be. So once you do that, this is the approach. All right. So neglect whatever is happening to me. All you need to do is come to dashboards, everybody. You will see where you have Power BI embedded. So the first rule, don't forget the journey. The one settings, administration, system settings, okay, system settings, select reporting, check it to allow Power BI. So reporting, check it to allow Power BI to yes, save that. Once you've done that, then you have solution. Majorly, you should try to use most times. Okay, go to your Power App solution, any of the solution you're working with, or you could even bring it into any solution, and then you'll find it available everywhere. All right, it should, by virtue of design, that tenant. Let me try a different tenant here. So it should, by virtue of configuration, pull up your report and your dashboard, so that once your report and your dashboard is available in that environment, you can then bring them. I hope this tenant opens it up. This is my organization's tenant, so I don't know. Just a very bad day at the office with internet today. And this was fine. 10-15 minutes to the call. But let's check. Let's check for another 3-4 minutes. If not, our concept, and then we can wrap up. Probably I'll look for another day I can easily do this again. With us. If the land and the like. Come on. Okay, let's see. Tenant. This is a live project that I work on. So let me just Power BI. Okay. All right. Dashboards. Okay. So you see, looks like that tenant is I guess that tenant itself is having issues right now. So something like workspace, right? If I select reporting right now, there's nothing in it. That's fine. Nope. Nope. Yeah. Good. So you can see that when I selected the report and I selected the Power BI workspace, I can pick my workspace, watch, and then boom, I can see if there's any port, and then if there's any dashboard. Let's go back. All right, I'll prefer dashboard now. So if there's any dashboard, I will have been able to pick a dashboard that is a dashboard. That's exactly how it should go. You pick the dashboard, you pick the report, and then you'll be able to. So once that is done, if forms part of the let me check one of these environments. So it forms part of it, and then you are able to use that report as the case may be. Just a moment. Let's check a different solution. What environment is this? Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. So now watch this carefully. I switched environment, but you see that the same workspace is showing up, right? Because of the nomenclature. So that's to let you, irrespective of whichever environment you are, your Power BI service or Power BI dashboard as a service, Power BI available in whichever environment you are in Power Platform. You can literally use it for anything you want to do and all of that. So if you open any of your tables, bring in any report as the case may be at all, right? You'll be able to use that element in your in your model driven app. You can also use it in your Canvas app, more like embed your Power Apps. You don't even have to go through this process for a Canvas app scenario. Because again, like I said, model application. All right. So those are the logics around it. Like I said, I really love a different session where I'm having very solid reception, so I can really actually do all of things, right? Very solid internet. I'm always the one with good internet, everybody. But I guess it's bad of just leave it at that so that we internet all day like we've been doing. So all of these are just how help whatever you do on your customer service. Maybe you are submit tickets, right? Rather than engaging directly with your customer service system, which you don't want, or probably you just want to have a report system that is more robust, right? A more robust report system, whichever and way you want to go, right? So the Power Platform has been positioned to help you achieve those elements. So it's more like a customize your system for you beyond what you have out of the box, the Microsoft Dynamics customer service system. All right. Thank you very much, Ola.
Awesome session,
Is
Ayatollah.
Ola here?
Thank you. Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for the in-depth knowledge that you've actually passed across to us today. Thank you for everything that you've been able to show us. And yes, we understand that the network is not so friendly today, which is fine. One of my mentors will say that the god of demo is not with you today. Which is absolutely fine. We've been able to see how we can actually extend Dynamics 365 with the Power Platform ecosystem. So another thing that Ayazile has shown us that I actually want to talk about is that whether you're a data analyst using Power BI, or let me say, if you're a Power BI analyst, you're a Power Apps or Power Automation engineer, you are a programmer using C Sharp, you heard when it was talking about JSON and some of those things, JavaScript, then you have a career path in the Dynamics 365 ecosystem. So you want to come and leverage your knowledge in the Dynamics 365 ecosystem, extend the Dynamics 365 either customer service or sales or marketing. All right. So thank you so much, Ayesene, for all that you've shown us today. And of course, definitely, we are definitely going to have you back when the reception is better so that you can, show us more things. So next week is going to be our final class, and by final class we are having one of our very own. To I'm not going to tell us who it is right now. You're going to see this display, the social media advert everywhere. So we will be having our last class next week, and after this training we are going to move to sales. So we'll be looking at Dynamics 365 sales. We'll also be looking at Dynamics 365 ERP. We'll be looking at the ERP side of things. I will be looking at the sales module. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see all of these things come together and come to life. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We're going to see you again next week. So from me and from my Ayatollah, we say bye bye, everyone. See you next week. Bye.